Na karibu mtazamaji kwa taarifa kamili za leo mashinani, na tunaanza taarifa hizi katika kaunti ya Mombasa ambapo mashirika ya jamii mtazamaji yanakutana na wanahabari. Mashirika haya yanaongozwa na Haki Afrika wakizungumza kutoa hisia zao kuhusiana na mapendekezo ya kubadilisha sheria za uhalifu hapa nchini. Moja kwa moja tuelekee huko kaunti ya Mombasa.
State entity. Doing so will erode their independence, non-partisanship, and their being apolitical. Countering violent extremism is a voluntary social process which every Kenyan has a duty to undertake. Requiring that those who do CVE work should seek approval and report to the center is unnecessarily introducing bureaucracy in what should be everyone's duty. Considering that civil society is broadly defined, the center will lack the capacity to approve every member of the civil society and the work they are doing. It will end up slowing down efforts to counter violent extremism in the country. This amendment is seeking to muzzle civil society and to proffer control of CVE work to the center, Kenya is past beyond those days of controlling civil society, and as a sector, we refuse completely to be taken back to those dark days. The state must understand that any efforts to monopolize CVE will only amount to weakening of the fight against terror and will give undue advantage to the enemy. As a state, they should look beyond control and concentrate on impact. For the above reasons, we as the Coast Civil Society Reference Group reject this amendment in totality. As a network, we further hereby categorically oppose the proposed amendments to the Public Order Act, which require that persons who organize demonstrations be held responsible for damage to property or grievous harm that may result from the demonstration. It further requires that the organizer may be required to compensate the affected persons. Our reasons to these oppositions are as follows. This provision outrightly contravenes constitutional guarantees under Article 37, which safeguards the right to assemble, picket, demonstrate, and present petitions to public offices. This amendment, therefore, is unconstitutional. It is the primary responsibility of the police at all times, including during demonstrations, to provide security. In the event of any breach of security, private persons, including organizers of demonstration, cannot be held liable. The law requires that for demonstrations, police be always notified by the organizers well in advance. This is for purposes of ensuring security. Police, therefore, cannot abscond their duty and the organizer be held responsible for any harm or damage caused. As private citizens, this amendment will encourage private persons to set up their own security forces to oversee their demonstrations. This will encourage the mushrooming of gangs and criminal groups. The amendment is subject to abuse as competing interests will always plant goons and mercenaries at each other's events to cause harm and damage with the intention of having their opponents held responsible. As such, this amendment cannot be allowed to pass. The amendment is meant to discourage individuals and organizations from actively engaging in civic action against public offices. It seeks to dilute public protests and demonstrations and encourage impunity. The state must be told that they cannot silence the people. They should allow for the expansion of democratic space in the country. State must understand that when it makes peaceful processes impossible, it will make violent processes inevitable. And for the above reasons, we as the Coast Civil Society Reference Group reject this amendment in totality. Due to the above, we here